thanks to Kevin Durant dropping 53. KD called out New York's mayor Eric Adams several times by name when discussing Kyrie Irving, who sat courtside for the game. Take a listen.
What was the feeling when Kyrie comes into the building and sits courtside, walks with you guys into the locker room, but obviously can't take 2 steps onto the floor and play?
It's ridiculous. Like, I don't understand it at all. I mean, it's a few people in our arena that's unvaxxed, right? Like, they lifted all of that in our arena, right? So I don't get it.
It's a second mandate that says he can come in but can't play.
I don't get it. It just feels like at this point now, somebody's trying to make a statement or a point to flex their authority. But, everybody out here looking for attention, and that's what I feel like the mayor wants right now, some attention, But he'll figure it out soon. He better. But it just didn't make any sense. Like, there's unvaxxed people in this building already. We got a guy who can come into the building. I guess, are they fearing our safety? I don't get it. So, yeah, we're all confused. Pretty much everybody in the world is confused at this point. Early on in the season, people didn't understand what was going on, but now it just looks stupid. So hopefully, Eric, you got to figure this out.
All right, KD looking for some answers. Big Perk here with us, looking clean. Thank you for being with us, sir. Stephen A., I'm going to start with you. Was it smart for KD to call out Eric Adams?
Hell no, it was not. But before I get into the KD angle, let me say, Big Perk, it was good seeing you draped all over the TV screen yesterday at Kevin Garnett's retirement. I'm proud of my brother. I'm happy they retired Kevin Garnett's jersey. It was well-deserved. That is real as it gets when it comes to that brother KG. And I was very, very happy to see all of y'all there in support of him. Now let me get back to KD. It wasn't wise. Let me say this. KD is not wrong with what he said. I want to be very clear. Kevin Durant was not wrong in terms of it makes no sense to have a policy, a mandate in place where you play for the home team so you cannot play for the Brooklyn Nets because of the city mandate, but somebody from another team can come into the arena and play against the Brooklyn Nets, even if you're unvaccinated. The fans can come in, even though they're not vaccinated. Kyrie Irving can come into the stadium, to the arena, unvaccinated, but he can't play. It makes absolutely no sense. It's a stupid mandate, and Eric Adams, the mayor of New York, needs to get rid of it, even though he's not responsible for putting a mandate in place. That was under the de Blasio regime, a former mayor of New York. Eric Adams needs to get with the times and understand how idiotic this rule is at this particular moment in time. But the reason why I say it was not wise is because Eric Adams is a politician. How do you think it's going to work for you, Kevin Durant, if you're coming up on a podium after a post-game conference in which you dropped 53 points and you're going to call out the mayor? Is that going to behoove him to move more expeditiously, more quickly, and capitulate to some of the things that you're calling him out? How has that worked? And even though we don't get into politics, let me get a little bit political here. How has it worked for this country when you see one side or the other ridiculing one another, calling each other names, calling folks out all the time, but then you got hands together and saying, would you do this for me? No wonder why the hell stuff ain't getting done. Because nobody's negotiating, nobody's compromising, nobody's talking with any degree of decorum or decency at one another. You butting heads, but then claiming you working together. That's not smart. That's what I mean. And I totally side with my man Mike Wilbon and Jalen Rose on NBA Countdown yesterday when they pointed that out. That's counterproductive. Kevin Durant, as Mike Wilbon so eloquently stated, Kevin Durant is entirely too intelligent, too smart, too accomplished, too business savvy to think that that would work for him with a politician. If you're Eric Adams, and I hope he doesn't do this, if you're Eric Adams, it might entice you to delay even more from lifting the mandate just because they took the position of calling you out publicly. You, Kevin Durant, you could get the man's number. You work for an owner that you play under an owner that has a very close relationship with Eric Adams. I am sure if Kevin Durant wanted to have a private one-on-one conversation with Eric Adams, he could have pulled that off in a nanosecond. Why would you do that? That is just not smart, KP. That's where I'm coming from on the Kevin Durant thing. We'll get into Kyrie in a minute, okay? But for right now, talking about KD, that's where I'm at with it, KP. Your turn.
Well, first of all, I wanted to tell you, hey, I appreciate you seeing me, in the garden last night. Like Swag Goose say, I felt like a celebrity. Okay, I felt like a celebrity back in the garden. But look, Stephen A., here's why I gotta disagree with you, Will Barn, my brother Will Barn, and Jay Rose. Y'all all are wrong. It's a new day and age. And listen, you gotta shine light on the people that are wrong. Because the mandate is not held privately, that's public. So why not call the mayor out publicly? See, I love what Kevin Durant did after the post-game interview. You know why? Because it got me and you sitting up here talking about it today. So as long as you keep shining light on it publicly, then you holding the mayor accountable. Forget all that talking behind the scenes and all that. You don't think they probably didn't done that already? Nothing is getting done. My thing is, in today's world, when you have this dumb rule that we all agree on that doesn't make any sense at all, then you gotta call it out. And you gotta call it out publicly. That's why I agree with Kevin Durant and what he did last night. Look, call it out, man. Bring it to the forefront. Let people talk about it. Let the mayor wake up with it on his mind. Let Eric Adams wake up and turn on his television and see us talking about it this morning, so that way he could not lose train of thought that he need to get something done about this rule and get something done ASAP. Because Kyrie Irving deserves to be on the basketball court, period. That's all it comes down to. He deserves to be on the basketball court. And last but not least, what Kevin Durant has shown us is that he's probably, as far as his brothers, he's the most loyal dude around the world.
That's
true.
true.
When it comes down to protecting his brother. And that's all he was doing. He was speaking up for his brother, Kyrie Irving, that was sitting courtside yesterday while he was sitting up there playing.
Well, let me say this to you, KP. You'll have a point in my mind if Kevin Durant had that private conversation with the mayor. I don't know that to be true, but my thinking is, in saying what I said, it's hard to imagine that he did, because if he did, there would have been nothing wrong with saying, I spoke to the mayor and I would disagree with him. You know what? He needs to change this rule. This is nonsense. But if you didn't speak to him, you're Kevin Durant. You do have a level of clout that most people don't have. And what I'm saying is, first order of business is trying to get it done, not calling them out. You can talk about calling folks out all you want to and bringing stuff to public light. I get all of that. But when you talk about getting things done, that's not usually how things get done. Usually things get done when you've got your cachet and you wield it behind the scenes. Now, sometimes it calls for you to take it public, but that can't be your initial step. And I was making an assumption, in fairness to you and your take, I'm making the assumption that Kevin Durant has not spoken to the mayor directly, because I think had he done so, he would have said so and then said, but I disagree with him on this particular point. And then he would have went from there, and then it would have made more sense. But if you didn't say that publicly, my attitude is, why would you come out publicly when you got the cachet to talk to him directly? Because I assure you, I can promise you, if Kevin Durant wanted to talk to Mayor Eric Adams, he could get Eric Adams on the phone by noon today.
Let me ask you something, Stephen A.
Sure.
Since you brought up the big bros, right? You, my brother Will Barn, Jay Rose. I believe that all you guys are powerful individuals, right? Because of the platform that you guys have, set for yourselves, as far as being voices, that people listen to. Powerful individuals. Haven't you called out this dumb rule?
Yes, many times.
You called it out, right?
Many times. Many times.
Publicly, right?
Yeah, yes.
You didn't have to go sit and have a private conversation with Mayor Adams, right?
Yeah, but it's not affecting me.
Yeah, but it's a dumb rule. So at the end of the day, it's not affect. But this is my thing. Whether it's affecting you or not, right is right and wrong is wrong.
I agree.
And we gotta call it.
Perk, hold on 1 second, though. I don't think Stephen A. disagrees with that. I think it was, and we all agree that Kevin Durant's right, but the tone of it, the tone of it might have been like a little offensive to the mayor, where he might double down now. I think that's what Stephen A. is trying to say. Like the way he came at it might irk the mayor more, instigate him a little bit more to double down on it, just because the way it was presented. So it's not that the message is wrong. You know, it was just kind of how he worded it and the tone of it.
Yeah, but Molly, I mean, when emotions are involved, everything is not going to come out peaches and cream.
But
I hear you. We're just saying there could be consequences, essentially.
Listen, we were getting ready to get to transition to Kyrie Irving about how wise it was for him to show up at the arena last night. So let's just get right into that and transition that, because it's all in the same bowl, okay? Point. To get to Kevin Durant first, and then I understand what Kevin Durant's saying. Kevin Durant is right. You and I are in agreement there. I just don't think he handled it correctly yesterday. But he's absolutely right with what he's saying. I said it weeks ago. I've been saying it for weeks. And as much as I've gotten on Kyrie Irving should be playing. Kyrie Irving should not be denied the right to play at Barclays Center. It's ridiculous that this rule is in place. But how you handle it matters. Like, for example, you, KD, you more forceful in calling out the mayor than you've ever been in pushing Kyrie to get on the court. I need you, bro. I got to be on out there on the court every night and night in, night out without you. You see how much easier life is for me when you're on the court? So we didn't hear anything about Kyrie from KD at all this season other than I support my brother. Then you Kyrie Irving, and you come in yesterday. Well, if you're the mayor, you're Kyrie Irving. You walked into that game yesterday on that court, in that arena at the Barclays Center. You were trying to make a statement clearly as well. And in doing so, how does that help you? See, the point is, the matter is, Kyrie's walking around like he's some heroine or whatever. You got his daddy at games hugging him and embracing him like, oh, my God, you've been so victimized. I'm here for you, son. I'm here for you. Like somebody did him wrong. You got his stepmama tweeting about how, you know what, Stephen A. and she mentioned me. That's why I can mention her. His stepmom, KP, actually tweeted talking about, I'm the first black woman to serve as an agent representing an NBA player in history. Talk about that, Stephen A. Well, congratulations. I mean, congratulations. I'm certainly not throwing any shade on that. I'm not saying, I'm not questioning the qualifications. I don't know what